Hey, 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 what is going on, everybody? The name is Dave Vrablik. It is so good being back online with everybody. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Thursday morning, afternoon? I am coming to you live from the beautiful Denver, Colorado area, and it is amazing to me that it has been a month since our last Mountain Summit virtual. And I want to welcome everybody from Facebook, YouTube, and also on our business page. It's so good to have everybody together as we are going into the springtime of the year and coming out of the cold months. I know the East Coast has been getting hit hard with the snowy weather. It's been really weird out here in Colorado. I've lived in this state now for over 30 years, and this has been one of the strangest years out of the 30 years that I've been here that we've only maybe had two snowstorms where we've gotten over a foot of snow. And I know that sounds strange, right? But back in 2001, uh, we got over 40 plus inches of snow, and that's the last time we got any type of snowstorm like that. And coming from a guy uh, who loves snowstorms and like that, I really miss that because I love watching my puppies run through the snow and enjoy it, especially my Australian Shepherd, because she loves the snow. Now, on the other hand, my German Shorthair, she doesn't really like it because she doesn't have a lot of hair to keep her body warm. But I wanted to jump on today because about a month ago, today we wrapped up the Mountain Summit Virtual Ignite the Spark, and the time is now. And that was a remarkable 2 days that unfolded in front of all of us on Facebook and YouTube. My YouTube channel is Journey Forward with NBM. And before I dive into that, I just want to let everybody who doesn't know me is my name is Dave Vrablik, and I founded New Beginnings Motivation back in 2018. And I founded my business in the honor of my older brother Joe, who passed away back on April 19th, 2018. And about a month or two after he passed away, and the services were done, family going home, friends who lived out of state went back home to their families. I was sitting at my house and I was thinking to myself, now what do I do? I was married at the time, and thoughts, memories started creeping back in, and there were regrets, things that I didn't get to say to Joe that I wish I did. There were plans that he and I had that with our wives at the time were trips that we wanted to go on. We were talking about maybe someday going out to Bora Bora and renting two over the water bungalows and spending 10 days out there and just kicking back, enjoying cigars and drinks and being with our wives and just hanging out as a family. There was another trip that we were planning because Joe and I were Disney fanatics, and I still am. And right before his passing, we were planning a Disney World trip. But sadly, we never got to fulfill those dreams. And there were things that I wish that I told him on how much I admired him, how much he truly, truly meant to me. And for a while, I got stuck. I didn't want to do anything. And it started to affect a lot of things within my life. I started overeating again because that was the only way I could really manage my life. And that started to affect myself not only emotionally, but health wise, physically. But it also started to affect my marriage because I didn't want to go out and do anything. 4 years went by. My now ex wife filed for divorce. I had to sell what I thought at the time was my forever home. And I hit rock bottom because of the regrets that I had. But not only did it start affecting myself personally, it started to affect those around me. And it came to a point where I needed to start taking some massive action because that's not how I wanted to live my life. And I had to start really looking inside and look inside internally and start asking myself some hard questions. Now, here's the thing, y'all. We can ask ourselves some hard questions internally, but it's also really easy when we do that and we make a commitment to ourselves. And then we can say we're going to do this. It's like making a New Year's resolution. But after like 2 or 3 days or even a week, when you make a New Year's resolution, half the time, or maybe 80% of the time, those New Year's resolutions go away. So when I would make that commitment to myself, it would flutter away. But when I started reaching out and taking action and surrounding myself after my divorce, after the sale of my home, after going after my binge eating disorder, and after creating these Mountain Summit virtuals and opening up about it and stepping out of the shadow of the mountain and talking about the struggles that I had after the death of my brother and seeing the courage of 40 plus men and women stepping onto the summit, sharing deep personal stories within themselves about how they traversed this side of the mountain after the passing of a loved one, a divorce, going through a domestic violence situation, filing a divorce, going through all that, ignited a fire within everybody. That's what happened last month. It cracked open the heart and souls of 40 men and women. That's what this Mountain Summit virtuals are all about. It started in the depths of the lowest valleys when I was sitting in a dark room, when my hero, Joe, passed away suddenly at the age of 39. I didn't know who to reach out to. I didn't know what direction to go. I was 35 years old. My ex-wife at the time was bawling her eyes out. My brother's widower was stunned and shocked that her love of her life was gone. I had to be the one to tell our parents that he passed away. And I knew in those months to follow, after he passed away, that there was something that needed to be done. So many of us can get stuck with the fear of regret. and we stay stuck. And that's no way to live. Sometimes that regret comes back and can knock on our heads and on our hearts and on our memories. But I can guarantee you this: our loved ones would not want us to stay stuck. They would want us to skyrocket and carry their legacy forward. Not only carry their legacy forward, but live our legacy in the moment. Chase after our dreams. Open up about our love for those that have moved on. And it doesn't have to always be about losing a loved one. It could be in any era that I spoke about before. We could talk about a divorce, a diagnosis from a cancer, concerns about losing a part of ourselves that we desperately want to get back. And take that action and put that regret in a box and throw it from the summit and let it go. When we can have the courage to open up and be brave and shout it from the mountaintops and have that declaration, that's where the healing can begin. That's when the grief and the shackles of the grief can start coming off. And here's the greatest part of what's going to happen 3 weeks from yesterday. We've got our 7th summit coming up. The mountain is coming back. April 7th through the 8th, we've got 40 plus speakers who have agreed to come back to enter the base camp and to begin their 7th climb with me, to share very deep and personal stories. Stories about journeying forward with every single step with intention. It takes one step at a time, one day at a time. And while we're traversing the side of the mountain, we're going to be creating to live our legacy in motion every single day. Because when God calls us home, not only will we be living our legacy now, the legacy that will outlast us will be fortified by the mountain that will never be shattered. So I want to invite you, whomever sees this video, to come join us. I'll put our event link in this video chat in the chat box. Or if you have any questions, you can DM myself, David Vrablik, or you can DM my very good friend, Austin Cunliffe. The time is now. And let's make 2026 the best year yet. Let's not live in regret for things that we left unsaid. Let's flip that around. Let's say what's on our heart and live intentionally. And let's take that massive action. Thank you all for your time today, and I hope to see you at the next Mountain Summit Virtual. Have a beautiful rest of your day.